So a lot of people on both the far left and the far right have been clamoring to see a photo of bin Laden's head wound. And since our government has a long history of bald-faced lying to us, it's understandable that these people don't trust what the government says. After all, the film Wag the Dog was based on an actual PR campaign undertaken by the Pentagon in order to incite public support for the first Gulf War. And we found out about Wag the Dog moments during the Second War in Iraq, with the bogus rescue of Private Jessica Lynch, the falsified account of Pat Tillman's death. In the immortal words of the Zen sage George W. Bush, "You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, can't get fooled again." So if bin Laden has actually been dead for years from kidney failure, and he's just been used as a boogeyman to justify the war on terror and the clamp down on civil liberties, and currently they're lying now to save face for the fact that he's been dead for years, or to make us feel like we've won a victory. And the reason that he was buried at sea is because there was no body, and the reason why they're not willing to release the photos now is because there are none. Given the assumption that all that's true, I still have to ask the question, well, what is it that we're being lied to about, and what does that mean? Does it mean that the boogeyman's dead? If that means that I can get on an airplane now without having my balls fondled, if that means that we can bring our troops home from Afghanistan, Iraq, and all of the 700 some odd military bases around the world, if that means we can stop viewing our neighbors with the suspicion that they might be terrorists, if that means that instead of mistaking Arabs for terrorists, Americans go back to mistaking them for Mexicans, if that means that we can shake the existential fear of terrorism from our national psyche and start behaving like mature adults instead of lashing out in fear at everything that moves like a dog owned by Michael Vick, then I'm comfortable being lied to about this. If, when I was a kid, my parents told me that if I didn't finish my dinner or whatever, that the boogeyman would come and get me in my sleep, and then later I refused to fall asleep night after night after night because I was so scared that the boogeyman would come and get me, that my parents came in, wrestled under the bed for a bit, pretended to wrestle, and then announced to me that the boogeyman was dead. Is that wrong? I'm interested to know, what are your thoughts?